So this will be the last episode before we give you the grand reveal, August 2nd, over at the Orange County Fair. And like I always say, why do a restoration unless you're going to do it all the way? Now it's the final steps of cleanup and putting everything back together. So with the base on this, it's a little bit different than your Eames chairs. A lot of times these screws are a real pain to get out, but what we're going to do is just take these pieces of hardware out for a few minutes. We're going to clean the frame, scrub it down with a little bit of WD-40 and the steel wool, get this to polish up. And then we're also going to spray the WD-40 inside the mechanism as well. We're going to, there's some screws and nuts here, and it rocks. So we're going to put some lubrication in here, blow it all out, make sure that it's operating properly before we start putting it back on the chair. So right here, this is the magic sauce right here. The WD-40 works wonders for so many different types of things in the refinishing world. We do use both. You could buy this in the gallon form. That's just, you could pour in a cup, and others, like I said, we have this. I'm just using this one now so that way I could spray it inside of the, the mechanism. Start letting that kind of saturate and soak in while I'm cleaning up the rest of the frame. We're gonna let that dry, and as you can see, I put cardboard down. You could do this on a piece of plywood, but I don't recommend you doing it on any type of carpet or furniture blanket. That will get into raw wood and cause a headache for you if you start using this table, maybe later today or tomorrow, and that WD-40 gets inside the grain. So this one here looks like it was chrome plated, which means that the steel wool is just cleaning off any gunk off the surface. I'm looking at it close, and there is some imperfections in this. It's very rare that we will take this and send it and get it repolished or re-chromed. That is very rare here at the shop, but it does happen. We do have a few people in the industry that do restore metal, polishing, or powder coating, brass plating, all of those. Like I said, there is somebody out there for the stuff that you need. And if you want to know all the people that I work with in the Southern California area, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I talk about all these people all the time. Like this chair is going to Luis from Universal Upholstery, and as soon as we're done here with this video, I'm loading it up in the truck and sending it out to him, because Ivan and I are running to AWFS Monday through Wednesday next week. So we will not be at the shop, and we're going to be out there filming a bunch of content, meeting a bunch of people. So I want to get this over to Luis so he has plenty of time to do the upholstery. I'm going to just let that sit for a few minutes while I'm cleaning up the little aluminum pieces for these these caps. These are very similar to the Eames chair because they have a little plastic slider, and then it has the the steel on top of it. The Eames chairs ones are definitely a little bit better, but these are still pretty darn nice. All right, so that is now cleaned up, pretty much dry. I see a couple little spots we're gonna wipe down real quick, but these little steps will take your restoration from good to great. If you take this little extra effort, the customers are gonna recognize it, they're gonna see it, and they're gonna be more excited that you did this job, and be willing to pay you at the end of the project. You want to give them top level service every single time. That's what we try to do here at the shop. Now it's time for reassembly, and where all of the pieces that we have now restored get tied back together. And as you can see, we have all the black screws that we also sprayed in the last video. They're ready to go, so it all matches. It looks amazing, and so we can start putting the pieces of this puzzle back together. And this is why that step one in this process, disassembly and labeling, is really important. I just couldn't remember which way this base went. It felt like it wanted to go the other direction the way it was sitting, but the center post was way back here in the back. So I did not label this. I screwed up. Luckily, it could only go one of two ways. In another type of situation, we might have put it on completely wrong and wouldn't have noticed it until the job was completely done. So I said this is why it's important to start labeling everything upon disassembly. Okay, so we got that step done. Now we're starting to look like a nice looking chair. And we're back telling you this is why you label it. We put it all together thinking we were correct, and it doesn't rock the correct way. It was sitting a little too straight, where these chairs have a slight recline to them. And this one here has the spring set up, so you can kind of rock and teeter in it. So right now you'd be teetering forward out of the chair, which I guess could be good for some, some people. But for me, I'm going to put this back the correct way and then move on to the next step. So now you can see it's starting to look like a chair, and Ivan and I were a little concerned with this base. You can tell now with the center of the chair itself is where it's at. If it was going to be center where we thought it was originally, it would have been back heavy, it would have tipped right over, someone sat in it, it would have destroyed it. And yeah, that was probably loud on the microphone, just thought about that. But what we have now is the little adapter, like the center support, which is more iconic with the Plycraft chair. Eames chairs don't have this, but this is where you're going to get all of the strength from. Okay, so this was the one that was missing a screw, if you remember right. All right, well now, it looks like I might have needed a little longer of a screw. So we didn't have one to guess with, so let me see if I can put this in without the little washer, and if that gains us that 1/8 of an inch that we need. Yeah, there we go. I think it goes the other way, it goes this way. Yep, so the little washer was just a little too much. It was the right size. I added that for it to look nicer. I should have gone up to like a 3/4 inch screw, but then so we got that there, and then we'll add the other one here on the back support. And this is where this chair is going to get all of its strength from. So now, when you do put these back together, don't tighten the bolts until you get it to this point, because you want to have a little bit of play. As you saw that this, like the support rod was sitting a little bit too high, we had to move this up a little bit to reach the, the opening. So now we can carefully just go around and put a little bit of pressure on the, the back end of the, like the little lag bolt, and just tighten it down. I want to work my way around carefully too, so we don't tighten one spot too much. We could just do it, do it evenly. So as you can see, it's growing up and turning into a nice, beautiful chair. And I'm going to need you guys to tell me what fabric we should choose on this one. I'm not good at fabric. I'm good at furniture, like stain colors. I am horrible at picking fabric. Ask my wife. Like it's very difficult for me to decide. And we're gonna put leather on this, so leather isn't even a big deal because there's no pattern to it. Give me something with pattern. It is a nightmare for me to figure out how to get it. What looks good. What should I do? I always have like buyer's remorse every time I do an upholstery job for myself. So the last panel has gone on, and I just was like working on it and tapping around. You could feel how sturdy this chair is. Listen to this. It didn't used to sound like that. Remember when it came in, we had found the broken nut underneath this cushion. Now we don't have to worry about this cracking, breaking, falling apart. We are, basically good to go. We're ready for this to be, to get a new life and, go into somebody's home. This is your last chance to take a look at this chair before we unveil the final reveal over on August 2nd. Take a look at it. It's a gorgeous chair. Very similar to an Eames style. Same color too. It's got that warm walnut. And so you can see all the metal is clean. The only thing that's not in is all the black screws that go with the upholstery. We're going to hop this in the car. We're going to wrap it up. Get it over to Luis right now. Hopefully not sitting too much traffic because it is a busy weekend in Laguna Beach. It's always difficult to get down there, but it's what we have to do. And I said we have to get it to him today so that way he can work on it while we are out at AWFS. And this is where I need your help. I'm not good at the picking of leather. I had a couple hides sitting around here at the shop. I know which one I like. We have this nice kind of like a tannish beige almost. It's got a little whitish brown to it. I really like the contrast. And then we have just like a light tan, which is similar to what was on it originally. Not quite as orange, but it doesn't have as much texture either. But it just goes with the piece, especially once you get the buttons in it. It would look really like nostalgic and look really of the period to the 1970s. Let me know down below what you think we should do. And like I said, you're going to be seeing that next week over at the Orange County Fair.